What's up? Welcome into the CHGO Bears Podcast, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app. Use promo code CHGO when you sign up. What's going on, Bears fans? Adam, Hoge, and Mark Carman with you today. Carm ignoring me like he has for the last 45 minutes.
I mean, I'm just tweeting out the show for 1 second.
The show has started. You can now talk to me.
Oh, the show you were supposed to tweet out 5 minutes ago?
It's upsetting here, chat, that I go and study in my own corner to prepare as hard as I possibly can for the show. I'm one of those guys, Hogue.
Yeah, it's not a test.
It is a test.
No, it's not a test.
What is it?
It's a show, and there should be pre-show camaraderie.
You want more pre-show camaraderie?
Yeah.
What do you want to do before the show?
I don't know. Play some ping pong. Talk about how shitty the Chicago baseball world is right now. Does anyone want to spend $1?
I that's a whole nother topic of conversation.
Right? And but we can't do that on this show, so we could do that in the office.
I agree. We could use some more pre-show camaraderie. But here's the thing. Unfortunately, I was not a great student back in the day. It was a borderline miracle that I got through college. Thank you to the University of Iowa via Hartford.
For letting you in.
For letting me in. And I still have – I'm one of those people that has dreams that I did not graduate, and I've got to go back and do it again. And it feels very real. Not that I need my degree at this point at all. But I was never the –
You didn't graduate?
No, I graduated.
Oh, okay.
I was confused by that.
That confused me. It sounded like you said you never graduated.
No, I'm one. I sometimes have dreams that I didn't.
Oh, you dreamed that you didn't.
No, I got. We can. Okay. You can check the tape.
Okay.
Or the records. There's no tape. But the point is that I did not study in advance for tests. I was not out in front of it. So I thrive perhaps in the final hour, 2 hours before the show. I like to get my last brilliant thoughts crammed in before the show. But if it's not good for the show, if you're off, then we need some more camaraderie. Then I think I got to cram so we can have at least like 20 minutes of camaraderie before the show. So I can make an adjustment.
Okay.
Just like the Bears should have made an adjustment and seen what Jack Sanborn and Roquan Smith looked like together. We'll get to that in a minute. Or right now, because that's what we're talking about today. And I'd like to personally blame Dan Pompei for ruining my morning.
Because of his
Thanks,
Roquan
Dan.
Smith piece?
Yes, because of his outstanding Roquan Smith piece in The Athletic. I learned stuff that I didn't know, and it just made me long for Roquan and seeing what he would have looked like with Sanborn and wondering out loud, as we're going to talk about today, if indeed – the Bears have, made I would say a fairly significant mistake. It has the potential to go down that way.
Okay, well, we're going to get into that. It looks like we have Nick available from
good.
Hallis Hall. I was wondering whether or not Justin Fields was talking, but obviously he's not because of the news that just came out, which Nick's about to deliver. So let's go ahead and bring in Nick from Hallis Hall. Make sure you're following him on Twitter at Nicholas Moriano. A little bit of news from Matt Eberflus that pertains to QB1, but it doesn't sound that concerning, right, Nick?
Yeah, you guys, it doesn't sound too concerning, but Justin Fields is sick and will not practice today. Matt Eberflus did say he doesn't anticipate him playing on Sunday, but plan for him today. He is actually in the building. Just stay engaged, go over the plays that they're kind of implementing, the first, second downs that they usually do on their Wednesday practices, but day to day. But didn't sound too concerning like Fields was going to miss this upcoming game against the Eagles on Sunday.
Nick, I don't want to disagree with you off the start of the show here, but anytime Justin Fields is not feeling 100%, it is of huge concern because we need QB1 to be feeling good. I'm mostly kidding here, but I wonder what else that you were able to glean off the Flus as far as what they're going to be doing in these final 4 games. Did anything, or just this week against Philly? Let's keep it a little more micro-based, if we will.
Yeah, so I mean, with these final 4 games, Matt Eberflus was asked, "What do you want to see out of your defense from these final 4 games?" There's so much that you can make improvement on, and you're facing some really good teams, obviously, off the bat here. But just want to see more of those turnovers increase. Obviously, they have not the unit created enough of them. situationally on defense, wants to see his guys win their one-on-ones when they have the opportunity to do so. The run defense has to improve. And he also said he was also asked, like, will you do anything differently with personnel-wise with the defense? And he said the linebackers are pretty status quo right now. The secondary is going to be better because you're getting, obviously, Brisker and Gordon back. But he said on the defensive line, might put in some guys along there that you could try out. But basically, I just told you they're going to work on the entire defense in these final 4 games as they're trying to close out the 2022 season. But nothing too, out of the ordinary, I would say, Mark. Just trying to find improvement with the guys that they do have. Matty Eberflus was also asked about, like, the defensive line. Like, what's the benefit of having, like, a defensive line like the Eagles, where you can just rotate guys in and out? Well, freshness was the thing that he mentioned. That's something that the Bears currently don't have with the guys. Whoever they're putting out there, it's their best that they have. And it's not like you can go to the second unit there and find creative and productive pass rushers like the Eagles can. But it's going to try some different combinations along that unit and see what kind of works and maybe things they could build off going into 2023.
You aware that the Bears have double-digit plus less hits than on the quarterback than the 31st team in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns?
Oh, God.
So they have
14 less hits on the QB than the second to worst team in the NFL. Like, they're not even sniffing the second to worst. Game. Yeah. This is all by design, by the way. Like, you could almost give Poles like an A for designing a terrible team so he could get a high pick.
Well, I think it shows you, like, how important the line of scrimmage is.
Yeah.
Like, because the rest of the defense isn't necessarily horrendous. Like,
I would almost say the rest of the defense is...
Yeah, but you're just not getting after the passer at all, and this is what happens. And then like, you look at the depth chart for the Eagles, and, like, Brandon Graham's a backup. He's been there forever. He's amazing. And Ndamukong Suh walked in. He looks like just a house. Somehow got bigger.
I mean, Robert Quinn gets hurt. Okay. He wasn't even here. Don't need that guy.
Don't need that for it.
Every week we're like, where's Robert? Yeah. Please do something.
Hey, Nick, real quick. I know I was watching the press conference, so I know a Mike Leach question came up, and I found it very interesting because they were in the Matt Eberflus and Mike Leach were in the Big 12 at the same time. What did Flus have to say about that?
Yeah, Matt Eberflus said, he played him on early on in his career when he was at Mizzou, but ultimately he said that, playing against or coaching against Mike Leach made him better. And then he also said he beat us pretty good that first time, but learned how to defend the spread and ultimately made Matt Eberflus become a better coach just going against that type of offense. It was up and coming, and that's obviously what you see a lot of in the NFL in today's age, right? That spread offense. So going up against Mike Leach's offense has definitely made him a better coach. He obviously offers his condolences to his family in the beginning, but yeah, he's grateful, very grateful to have coached against him and kind of gone against that spread offense.
Can you imagine if Mike Leach had ever been the head coach of the Chicago Bears, how unbelievably entertaining that would have been? We haven't had that since Ditka, for the record. Like
yeah. Well, what Mike Leach did so well was he still wouldn't answer your questions like most coaches, but he would just go into some side rant about, like, cargo shorts or something.
I mean, you could talk In-N-Out Burger, you could talk marriage, you could talk literally anything with that dude. R.I.P. So it's a lot of connections this week, Nick. I mean, Nick Sirianni and Flus with their Colts days and more. They were apparently they lived in the same neighborhood, their families and all that. Nick's got the benefit of Jalen Hurts now. I don't know if there's anything that Flus could possibly glean from what's making Hurts so good. Was that covered today?
Yeah, he said what makes Hurts so good this season, especially, is like when you watch him play, he's so clear and concise on his reads, knows where to put the ball depending on the coverage, good timing. He also said it helps, when you have a plethora of weapons around him, the 2 wide receivers, obviously Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, but yeah, he's seeing the operation of the Eagles offense. It runs because Jalen Hurts is so concise and good with that timing. So he also mentioned there are some parallels between how Justin Fields plays the game, obviously being able to improvise, and how that can benefit this Bears defense when you're going up against a guy that can also do that. So he did say that when the Bears going through these these practices throughout the week, they will do the one-on-ones, the ones versus ones throughout a practice, third down or 2-minute period. So that's a good opportunity for this current Bears defense to go up against a playmaker like Justin Fields. And obviously they're going to see one on Sunday in Jalen Hurts, but really clear and concise, can operate that offense, can use all the playmakers that the Eagles have. And there is a benefit to, practicing against Justin Fields when you're going up against a guy like that on Sunday.
All right, Nick, before we let you go, anything else from the head coach?
Really quickly. Yeah, no, kind of going back to Mike Leach, guys. Did you ever see the clip of him going through the mascots and saying who win in a fight? It's really entertaining. You guys have to watch this where he's like, oh, well, the duck's probably going to fly out of there because, well, it's smart because he's going up against all these other Sun Devils. You have to go biblical and see how you can do that. Definitely go watch that because obviously he has so many interesting quotes. But that one I watched yesterday when I heard the news, I'm like, okay, yeah, Mike Leach is different. That's something special.
Yeah, there's so many good Mike Leach rants out there. Put money in the jar, Carm.
It's unbelievable that I literally did everything to turn the thing off and just forgot to turn the volume down so it wouldn't ring. That's such a bad job. It's such an unbelievably bad job. At any rate, that's a bad. I want to respond to Mubs because he keeps on talking about my gray hair. Why is he? If he's on 50, how come it's gray? It's the lights, Mubs. It's the lights. No,
it's just gray. But Mubs, people get gray hair before 50. I mean, I got the gray coming in pretty good. I'm 36.
Yeah, I mean, why is everybody so hyped on my age?
Yeah, I don't know.
Golly, I'm the most youthful guy going.
You are way more active than me with all your tennis.
Mm-hmm. We got a big match tonight.
Yeah.
Big match. Come on, 8:30. Let's go.
Who you got tonight?
I don't know. It's 4-5B. I'm 0-1. The danger of this, because I'm up a level, I just don't want to go winless. I'm like the Bears right now.
Oh no.
I gotta get any W. I gotta get the first one.
Are you tanking to get moved back down?
No, I want to stay. I don't want.
Well, then get better.
I'm trying. I'm really trying.
Nick, good stuff.
Nick, you're the best.
We'll be following you on Twitter at Nicholas Moriano. We'll see you later at House Hall.
All right, you guys. See you.
All right.
I'll see you tomorrow, Nick.
There he is.
I'm not coming today.
Nick Moriano. Look at those. What?
It's the way you slowly said it. There he is. Nick Moriano.
I thought it. I wanted to be dramatic.
It had a slight capness to it without the punch. Nick Moriano.
You know what that is, right? You're stalling in your head to figure out where you're going next.
I didn't compute that.
That's
I see. My level with you is that you always know exactly where you're going. There's never an ounce of doubt.
Sometimes there is.
You wake up and you're on your game.
Oh, that is definitely not true. I am not a morning person. It takes me a good 90 minutes before I'm alive.
No, we do an 8:30 meeting every day, team, and Hoge is on his game.
Wait, you guys do that every day?
No, we don't do it every day. Correct. Mondays and Wednesdays we do it.
2 days a week.
It feels like it's every day.
And let's see if we can do this math. What is 90 minutes before 8:30?
That'd be 7.
That's when my alarm goes off.
Good strategy.
Right? I need 90 minutes to wake up.
You're giving yourself the security that you're going to be on your game at the 8:30 meeting. That's the elite move.
James gets on the bus at 7:53. It's a miracle if I remember that happened every day.
I don't want to.
And I'm the one who walks out there with him.
Yeah, I'm single, and
you need an alarm.
You know what? Do you know what time?
What?
I haven't needed an alarm since my daughter was born.
Oh, if you don't give me an alarm, I'll sleep till 11.
Oh, okay. I got the pillow over my head, but I'm still getting jostled and what have you.
I mean, it's one of my strengths. I sleep really well. The downside is that I don't wake up well.
I mean, I used to be up and at 'em, and I don't know what's going on right now, but I went to bed before 10 today, and for me, today was like 8:20. Like, you have to get out of bed because in 10 minutes you got to talk to Hoge. And at 8:29, I was definitely not physically ready to be in front of that camera, but then I stepped it up a minute later.
I was proud of the group. Everyone had the cameras.
Good
on
effort.
today.
Good effort.
Well,
this
not
morning.
everybody.
No,
But most people did.
I didn't.
Monday.
All right.
Monday was just nobody's cameras on except for Hoge. I'm just talking to myself in a black screen.
I turned my camera on for you, and Monday I was on my game. I
like to see people.
I was already here.
I like to be social.
I was already here. I was walking.
I'm usually walking my dog, and I feel like
I want to see the dog.
Well, Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Hoge wants community, which is, by the way, the whole point of CHGO.
Right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And that's why we're here with you guys every
Hit
single
the
day.
like button. Let's build this community.
Hit that like button.
Can we
subscribe? Notify.
We need you. We love you. Our job security is dependent upon you. Please hit the like button.
Okay, well, you don't sound so desperate about
I am
it.
desperate.
Jesus.
I'm always desperate.
I think we've had a pretty damn good 10 months or whatever it's been.
We're doing great.
Okay.
Just more likes. let's maybe we got to get desperation out there to get the likes.
All right.
Can we talk?
Yeah. So
yes.
Roquan Smith, really good job by Dan Pompei as usual on the Athletic. He went and
Pompei's so good.
Talked to Roquan. Talked to Roquan's business manager, who's also his aunt. I think that was my favorite part of the story.
Keep it in the family.
Look, I definitely think there's been sort of this sort of like shrug and I don't know if ignorance is the right word, but just like, okay, Roquan's gone. Like, we don't want to hear or think about him anymore. Does that make sense?
I do think we have
we've sort of bypassed the
narrative was out there that Roquan plays a non-premium position and Poles was right and we don't need Roquan, despite the fact that Roquan was by far the best player on the defense on a terrible defense. But I think we all tricked ourselves in new NFL that position doesn't matter. We don't need Roquan. And I think we also sort of fell in love with Sanborn.
Well, okay, so this is actually linked because this is I'm not.
Do you see Kaduk, by the way, saying if we don't get 500 likes, it's the end of the show?
I don't know. He's threatening people.
Full desperation mode. I think he's being serious. 500. Tell your friends right now. Yeah. Roquan.
We should mention, too, real quickly before I get into what we just had up on the screen is we have gift memberships now. Let's go.
That's huge.
For the holidays.
I'm so excited about this.
So you can get, if you got a friend or a family member who, you think you would love this content, become a diehard, want to be a diehard, it's a great way. If you're, how would it be, 11 days from Christmas? You're running a little late on your Christmas shopping. I actually did this with my father a few years ago with a different outlet, a different subscription, and he loved it.
Bottom line, listen, you're all thinking out, at least some of you are thinking out there like me, when am I going to get someone? And then you don't have to think anymore. Just hook them up with it. Listen, you're gonna love being a part of CHGO. You're gonna get brilliant takes from Hoge and Carm and Braggs and Woot
but you would have to put up with seeing Carm at the Bulls takeover on.
I will.
Are you going?
I won't be at the bar, but I will be at the game.
Oh, exciting! That's Friday. I'll be there.
I'm strongly leaning towards going, but I haven't fully committed yet.
I would love to be at the bar, and I would be at the bar.
If I go, I'm at the bar.
Yeah, I
might
won't
not leave the bar.
I won't be at the bar because I'm going to be sitting down with Derrick Rose is my goal.
Oh.
If that happens before then, I will be at the bar.
Can I join you?
Sure, absolutely.
Can Derrick Rose come to the bar?
I don't see why not. He's barely playing. Might as well come and hang out.
Right. All right. Well, one of the many reasons you should be a CHGO diehard and a great way to gift a membership to somebody. Here's where I'm at with Roquan. I am still not like retroactively upset that they made the trade.
I am.
What I'm disappointed in is that we never got to see Roquan and Jack Sanborn play together.
100%. That sucks.
Because I definitely think that there was an adjustment thing that Roquan was going to the will linebacker position. I also look at his skill set and I'm like, there's no reason you can't do this. And it already hurt him to have the defensive line, the lack of defensive line talent in front of him. But if you're the Bears and now you found Jack Sanborn, aren't you at least curious what that would have looked like if you had those two guys play together? And I just that's the part I don't understand, because they clearly liked Jack Sanborn. They signed him.
Sanborn was on the field some. I'd have to go back and look at it. I was looking at the stats this morning because...
Well, I know what he was on the field for.
Go ahead.
And the reality is he wasn't on the field. He should have been your starting Sam linebacker way earlier than he was.
100%.
Like maybe week 1.
He had a couple.
The guy was amazing in the preseason. Are we forgetting? The guy flashed all preseason. He was one of the biggest stories of the preseason. And instead, and this was not the only example, there's been examples we've talked about this entire season where there's the lining up of the development versus winning hasn't always connected. Like the puzzle hasn't always made sense. And we're seeing Riley Reif play right tackle when there's multiple young guys that could be playing instead. Just one example. And to me, I thought Jack Sanborn way earlier in the season earned the opportunity to be on the field over guys like Joe Thomas and Matt Adams as the Sam linebacker. And now that we've seen what he's doing at the mic, I think there's some type of misevaluation in there. He should have been the mic earlier.
Yeah, and it is one of the most elite / must-have skills to if you're going to be a championship caliber franchise, you have to be able to evaluate your own talent. And they get credit. You made him an undrafted free agent. He's on the field now.
And he's great.
And he's great, and I've got a 57 jersey, and I'm going to wear it on Sunday. I'm very excited about it.
Wow.
All of that's happening, and we're all falling in love with Sanborn. However, to your point, they were slow to it. And not only were they slow to it, they were slow to it when the options were bottom of the barrel NFL starter caliber players. So it is a miss.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's just like maybe it doesn't change anything. Maybe Roquan still gets traded, but I just when the reasons for trading him were partially that he wasn't playing as well as he had in the past defense, he wasn't delivering the ball production.
He had 19 tackles in a game this year.
I know, but he was still playing pretty well. I just wonder, if he wasn't like at times literally the only player in the front seven,
right,
doing his job well,
right.
Would he been playing? And I don't know the answer to that, but for a team that does have an incredible amount of cap space, who was actually in a position where, maybe you're overpaying for a off the ball linebacker,
right?
You could have done it. And based on Dan Pompei's story, the Baltimore Ravens, who seem to know what they're doing, by the way, as an organization, they don't seem afraid to pay him.
No, they don't. And look, I don't want to make this all about Dan's piece because at the time I wasn't in love with the whole concept because on a very basic level, I like good players. Roquan Smith is a good player. And if you talk about going to free agency as far as overpaying players, the odds is that you are going to overpay in free agency for whoever you get. That's how free agency works. You're going to overpay. So they didn't get out in front and sign Roquan, and Roquan wasn't going to give him a deal, so you were going to have to pay market value for him. Which, with the Bears situation with $125 million in cap space, well, you could afford to do that and still add a ton of players. But, I mean, he's got Pompei threw some stats in there. Since he came to the league, Smith has 51 tackles for loss, the most among middle linebackers and the second most among off-the-ball linebackers. I don't know. That seems like a pretty good stat to me.
Yeah.
I mean...
But as he also pointed out, he doesn't have the takeaway numbers.
Right, and so that's the other thing. Flus is hyper-focused on the takeaway numbers. And for me, that's great that you want to take the ball away, but I thought Roquan, the way he defended himself in there, is accurate. Like, if you're playing that way, it's high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
This dude's just making tackles. He's not selling out to get the ball completely. I don't. Are we going to get rid of Jalen Johnson because he doesn't get a ton of takeaways? It seems ridiculous.
No, but it's
to me.
one of the reasons why I've questioned, will the Jalen Johnson thing become close to the Roquan Smith thing this offseason? with there being a
Right.
discrepancy in how the team values him because he doesn't get the takeaways. Let's quickly take the super chat, quick break, and then there's another point though from the Pompey piece that in terms of the process that both you and I kind of red flag went up when we read it.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. I want to get in this process. But
John Davis, though, with a $10 super chat. We
What's up,
appreciate it. Ryan Poles absolutely made the right decision to trade him. He wasn't playing nearly well enough for what he wanted, and it was best to move on while Roquan still had value. No problem with it, in my opinion. And
John, he's 25. His value wasn't going to go anywhere, but okay.
Yeah. True. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you still could have gotten a second-round pick for him in the offseason. Maybe.
You could have. They didn't get any steal from the Ravens in this trade. A second and a fifth.
Don't forget about A.J. Klein, who no one knows where he is.
Yeah, right. And AJ, they got a second and a fifth, and
a guy who's playing for the Bills now.
And Greg Braggs. That's what they got.
Oh my God.
I interviewed AJ Klein. He seemed like a nice guy, and then he was gone.
Of course, you interviewed AJ Klein.
Of course. Hey, it was AJ Klein. I wanted to, and if I needed a financial advisor down the line, I wanted to introduce myself to AJ Klein.
That's pretty funny.
Maybe could be car insurance. Klein is a big time mover and shaker down the line. Maybe he doesn't need to work anymore, but he seems like a financial advisor. Klein, come on.
Hey, maybe he works for ComEd. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is committed to helping families and businesses in the communities we serve manage energy usage and lower energy bills. Now and into the future, ComEd offers a wide array of incentives on lighting and other efficiency upgrades to commercial, industrial, and public sector customers of all sizes across our territory. Customers can inquire about how to upgrade outdated lighting to energy and money-saving efficient LED lights. Learn more about network lighting to operate your lights through your mobile device, which is honestly quite fun. I don't know if you've ever done that, but I enjoy doing that. Track your facility's energy usage and more. Incentives have recently increased for indoor, outdoor lighting and network lighting controls, making these projects even more cost-effective than before. Here's what you want to do. You want to visit our friends at ComEd.
We love you, ComEd.
ComEd.com/poweringbiz, B-I-Z. Visit that now to start saving money and energy. To start a project, contact ComEd at 1-855-433-2700. For more information, email businessee at ComEd.com or public sector at ComEd.com.
That's a good add to the show. I like it. So after you've got all your energy hooked up and you're saving money and you're living the dream, you want to eat something, you got to do it. You got to go right to my team at Greenridge Farm, yes?
Should we talk about Monday?
Oh, yeah, Hoge was big on Monday.
No, I don't want to even take credit. I want to give Greenridge Farm. No, because it was
You get credit.
It was Lawrence's idea, but Lawrence was really busy. We have so much Greenridge Farm in our fridge here at CHGO because they're awesome partners of ours, and the food's so good. And we also have a grill here.
Hoge just stepped up and grilled up all sorts.
Why not?
You fired up the Greenridge Farm. Next thing you know, there were 20 sausages for 3 people.
Well, most Mondays I have to run to Hal's home.
I did like that. That was good.
Well, I didn't know what I ever wanted, and we have so much. I just threw. I actually did throw like 20 on there.
You did. You did.
Where did the rest of them go? I was looking for them yesterday in the fridge.
Somebody ate
I was
them.
hoping there was maybe
they
leftovers.
got eaten. Okay. Why would you not eat them? It's Greenridge Farm.
Because there was like 2 shows after us, and there was not many people here. But
the jalapeno cheddar.
Oh my God, the best.
The first thing people do when they walk in here is seeing what food is available, and then they take off their clothes or jacket. Greenridge Farm.
For the record, that does not happen here.
It kind of happens. Greenridge Farm is a local Chicago meat and cheese company. 2 amazing brothers who started the passion of Greenridge Farm with a small batch of meats and cheeses. They're from their timeless traditions of their European roots. I'm telling you, it's all natural. It's fresh. It's delicious. They're meat sticks. Everybody needs protein. 16 grams of protein in each stick. Chicken, Black Forest beef, jalapeno cheddar, spicy chili, perfect for tailgating, perfect for happy hour, perfect for school lunches for those who are packing up for their kids going to school. As we get to vacation time here. I think it's perfect for a little winter break, little lunch. Easy come, easy do.
Yeah, maybe you have a holiday party. You need to go to, go to the neighbor's house. They want you to bring something.
There you go.
Chop up some meat sticks. You got yourself a plate. Let's go. Charcuterie
You
board.
could get them in the refrigerated section, Costco, Sam's Club, any of your local Chicagoland grocery stores, or, of course, greenridgefarm.com. Right now, when you order 3 meat products at greenridgefarm.com, you get the pack of meat sticks in your cart. Those are free when you put in that code CHGO.
All right. I have a lot of respect for what The Athletic does, so I don't want to, read everything from this piece. You got to go check it out.
Yeah.
It's a great job by Dan Pompei, as always. But there is a snippet here I want to talk about.
Okay.
So here is what Pompei wrote. 4 days before the NFL trade deadline, Baltimore GM Eric DeCosta called Ryan Poles, Bears GM. Was he interested in trading Smith? The Bears were coming off a 33-14 road upset of the Patriots, in which Smith had 12 tackles, a sack, an interception, and a pass defensed in front of a national Monday night audience. Poles, unsure if the Bears could contend at 3-4. Remember, that was a record at that point. Haven't won since. Told DeCosta to call him back after the Bears played the Cowboys the following Sunday. After the Bears got smoked 49-29, it became clear Chicago was going to be more like the team that was trounced in Dallas than the one that rose up in New England. DeCosta reached out again, found a more receptive Poles. The Ravens were up against the salary cap. DeCosta wanted to know if the Bears would pay most of Smith's salary. They would, agreeing to a deal in which Chicago would pay $4.8 million of Smith's $5.4 million 2020 salary in exchange for Baltimore's 2023 second-round pick and a fifth-round pick previously acquired from New England, as well as amazing linebacker A.J. Klein. I added the amazing. Okay,
You did just read the entire piece.
No, I did.
No need for that subscription now.
I'm kidding. It's a long
I was
piece.
going to say, if anyone's read The Athletic, you know that was probably 5% of it.
Very true.
Okay,
Very
the
true.
point of me reading
And now
all
there's
that-
ads.
What's your takeaway from that part?
So I have 7 different takeaways that are irritating or concerning. Seriously. Number 1, Ryan. I just wonder, you didn't know that the Bears weren't good? You had to see the Dallas game? Come on, man. I mean, everybody knew. I appreciate some optimism, but come on. We all know that the Bears are not going to the playoffs this year, borrowing a 2% miracle. So I just, that he had to see that game is a little bit concerning for me. That's not my biggest takeaway. My biggest takeaway is that, hey, this is not about this year. This is a long-term play. So I understand that he doesn't want to rip away from the locker room, even if he looked at Roquan as just a rental for the Bears. But, a rental to go to the playoffs and lose versus trying to build the best possible team you can to win the Super Bowl, I don't like his – I'm not wild about that thought process right there.
It sounds to me like if the Bears had beaten the Cowboys, Roquan Smith would still be on the Bears.
Yeah, which is just strange. You're not winning the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I was going to say, so even if you win that game, which obviously they didn't even come close to, but you're 4-3, you're not winning the Super Bowl, like you said.
The goal is to win the Super Bowl and put 1985 in its proper corner forever and get the monkey off your back. This is strange to me. And the other part's hey, will you eat this money? Yeah, I will if you give me a first-round pick. I'm sure. I mean, did he? I'm assuming he asked, and the answer was no. But I
hope he asked.
Yeah, we're giving up. We're giving up money. We're giving up, and so you would think that you could possibly get a little bit more than they got. Yeah, we'll eat all the money. How about a second and a third? You won't give me a first? Really? Well, I definitely need a second, and I'm gonna also need a third. And I don't know. I would just love to hear how that conversation went down.
Yeah, and a lot of our commenters, I think I'm agree with most of them. That I'm still mostly okay with the trade. I think I have more of a problem that they couldn't get Claypool for this pick that they got
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That has
like
constantly annoyed me since it happened.
if you look at it right now, I mean, the Bears picking in the second round, it's basically a late first round pick. The Ravens, meanwhile, are 9-4. They're picking 26th. So now you've moved back considerably.
Yeah, 23 spots at the moment.
Yeah, thank you for math.
Good math.
That was
Lawrence.
pretty good.
Excellent.
So you've moved back 23 spots for essentially exchanging Roquan Smith and Chase Claypool
12 catches, 111 yards.
and adding a 5th-round pick and a linebacker who now plays for the Bills.
Right. Not that exciting. I don't think you could. I don't think you can say this is a win right now.
It's also too early, but
is it?
Yeah.
Listen, I get that that people are that this is not going to be the determining factor of whether or not Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus are successful. I got it, and maybe that's the best deal they could make, and so here we are, and they had to pay up to get Chase Claypool, who hopefully will turn into something a lot better than he has been so far in the final 4 games, being the number 1 receiver and having the bye week to learn the offense and everything. However, I still go back to Roquan was a very good player. Good players help you win football games. I don't care what the analytics say about that position nowadays. I don't.
Can I stop you for 1 second?
Yeah.
Guys, I understand the Packers situation. They were in on it. That doesn't mean that was the right move.
Right.
You know, so Chase Claypool's 12 catches could be on the Packers right now. Just because the Packers were involved doesn't mean that you budge. It's probably why. You know, it's probably why they had to give the higher second round than the other. Doesn't mean it was the right move, though.
For the record, for the chat, Claypool has 12 catches and 111 yards with the Bears. Okay, I'm not saying that's. I understand his in total stats, but as a Bear, he's got 12 catches and 111 yards. Yeah. And
does he have
that's
30,
fine. People don't need to agree. Things in that article, like Roquan's impact in the locker room, the fact that Roquan was friends with everybody in the building, the fact that Roquan actually really wanted to be here, all that stuff. The fact that Roquan's a little bit different in life, the fact that he goes on trips and just is a quote unquote old soul, the fact that Roquan is all over the field and hits bigger than he is, I don't understand. I really don't. I do not get what Bears fans have against Roquan. Like they.
Well, I think the statement he put out at Family Fest Day, I think rubbed not only a lot of people in the organization the wrong way, but fans too.
Okay, but it's negotiation.
It was a terrible negotiation.
It was.
You will not find a single agent ever who's going to put out a statement saying that the GM negotiated bad faith and only his boss ahead of him can fix it.
It was a bad job.
It was just something you don't do, and that's all part of this equation too. Which is again not So I get it. I get why it ended the way it did. But you also can't then a couple months later do this, interview with a great respected reporter, and I wanted to be in Chicago. You demanded a trade. You can't say that you wanted to be a Bear if you demanded a trade.
There's a million. This has happened 1,000 times, and then people get over it, and they end up signing. Listen. You have to understand.
No, I'm just saying you can't play it both ways.
Yeah, but if you're in Poles' position, you have to have an elite level of understanding of people and their feelings. Oh, Roquan is hurt right now because he's not getting the offer that he thinks he should get, and he's angry because I'm negotiating with him. I'm going to allow Roquan to have his feelings, and the way he's acting out is not great, but I'm just going to know that this guy is in this emotional space, and I'm letting that go for the betterment of the Chicago Bears. You got to go big picture. You can't get caught up in what he's saying. And so It's not devil's advocate either there, Sir Ryan. I didn't like it at the time.
No, you didn't.
So
yeah, Farm.
But I
yeah,
did
Farm.
Farm didn't like it at the time. Neither did Carm, and I am a little bit caught up in reading the piece today, and I hadn't thought about this for a while. But look, how many starters do the Bears need next year? How many positions are open? Who do you know that you have? Period. We've got a lot of time to go over that stuff, but like that would have been a known piece. The Bears need some known pieces right now. We don't have many.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm trying to find this thing I have.
Yeah, let's get to the
your
grades.
grades?
Here. I mean,
well, no, I've already started
long.
to put the answer to Carm's question.
I mean, it's about like 17, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Here are
how many
of 22
that we need. Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. So the amount of long-term starters on your defense right now, the players who have played as long-term starters
2
this season
1
is actually 1.
Yeah.
Although I do think Jalen Johnson is one of those players. Hasn't quite been
We're
reflected.
talking
my
about
God.
just the defense?
Is Sanborn the
Sanborn.
one? Oh my God.
We're just talking about the defense.
Yes, just the defense.
Okay.
Just the defense.
Right.
And Roquan would have been one of those players.
I mean, Jalen Johnson is going to be here, I would think. And Kyler's going to be here. And Brisker's going to be here. And Sanborn's going to be here.
Although technically Roquan Smith was not.
Yeah, I remember that. He had a bottom tier game, I remember.
Well,
One of those
Roquan
weeks.
and his worst game of the season against the Cowboys. Which also makes you wonder, was his value higher a week before? If you had made the trade before the Cowboy game. This is total hypothetical, never know the answer to, but would the Ravens would have been willing to give up a first-round pick for him?
Yeah, and that, and also just going back to the conversation, hey, are you guys interested in Roquan, trading Roquan? What are you offering? Don't not call me after the Dallas game. What's your best offer?
Well, I'm sure that happened, and then it was like, all right, well, give me a week to think about it.
Okay. You're probably right. It wasn't just it wasn't initial knee-jerk. Yeah, no, we're not. Just call me after Dallas. I would think that's not the conversation.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's how.
And for the record, if I'm betting is that Ryan Poles knows what he's doing or not knows what he's doing, I'm betting that he does. I think the Bears have a GM that's going to do right by the Bears. I do. But we also have to at least be remotely grounded in the fact that the Bears are not good at hiring people who can do their jobs well. So we need some evidence. The evidence, he has my benefit of the doubt right now. I just don't particularly agree with this one.
And if you're betting, you should use DraftKings.
That's an excellent point.
It's a good ad segue, isn't
You
it?
should use DraftKings. I'm a big fan of DraftKings. I'll be using DraftKings this weekend, as I always do. Because DraftKings is an official sports betting partner of the NFL. I don't know if you knew that, Carm.
I think I did.
Yeah.
I love DraftKings.
It's my go-to when betting on the NFL this holiday season. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win their game. Get $150 in free bets if they do. Check this out. Right now, everyone can earn up to a 100% boost with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, place a same-game parlay, combine multiple bets like which team will win, player props, point totals, and more. The more legs you add, the bigger the boost you get, and the bigger your shot to win big. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code CHGO. Place a $5 bet on any NFL team to win their game. Get $150 in free bets if they do. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code CHGO. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
All right. More importantly than that, actually not more importantly, but what you want to do when you're gambling is be at the game and gambling. That's the best way to do it. Okay. So you can combine DraftKings with game time tickets. And by the way, Derrick Rose is in town tonight. There is some serious value right now. If you go to Game Time, you can sit in the upper deck, the 300 level, for $42. when you download the Game Time Tickets app, like 15 million amazing people have done, there is no better value in the secondary market than Game Time Tickets. And by the way, it's very, very easy to use this app. And it's also not just for Bulls or Blackhawks or Bears games, concerts, shows. They've got it all for you. Game Time Tickets, 50-yard line, courtside, last row, upper tank, wherever you want to go. Tickets are there for you. Game Time Tickets is amazing, and it's also there's a way in which, if you want to support us, buy your tickets through the link in the description. Go see Derrick Rose at the United Center tonight and scream about how his number should be in the rafters one day because he's the youngest MVP in the history of the NBA via the Game Time Tickets app. Or go see.
And then come back Friday at the CHGO takeover.
That too, of course. And don't buy your tickets through Game Time. They're buy them through us. But in general, Game Time tickets.
Well, if you're gonna do the whole takeover event, you buy them through us. You could still go to Game Time if you just want to go to the game. But we highly recommend you join us. The official CHGO Bulls takeover happening Friday night as a pregame celebration. They're gonna win, right? We're gonna celebrate the win.
Yeah,
before the game?
of course.
we're just gonna celebrate being together and the holidays and
See, I'm celebrating
basketball.
2 wins over the Knicks, back to back.
Gotta have them.
They could be the Knicks.
Need them.
Yeah. That's happening Friday night. Hope you come. It's gonna be a good time.
Will you be trying to talk to Taj Gibson while he's walking away from you? Oh wait, he's no longer on the Knicks, but that was an interesting.
I'm gonna try to get Derrick Rose talking to me when he's walking away from me.
That was an interesting video. He was literally like walking to the bus, and you're like still like, hey, last thing.
See, only Lawrence would come at me.
I actually
for not letting him just.
No, that's
walk
not true. Someone else brought that up to me, and I was like, oh yeah, he's totally
Who's
walking
someone
away.
else?
I don't remember.
Does this someone else work here?
Perhaps.
Now we got internal CHGO strife on my Taj Gibson video.
Wait, when was the Taj Gibson video?
He plays for the Wiz now.
Were you in?
And Carm was
Paris?
asking him
Maybe
about.
you were in
Yeah, it
Paris.
must have been.
I asked Taj when the Wizards were in town on. Was that Thursday?
It was
night?
last week while
Last
you were
week,
in Paris.
Is that the worst name of any
The Wiz.
professional sports
The
team?
Not
Wiz.
great.
So I don't like it. I think I don't like it because Michael Jordan was on the Wizards.
I love Jordan on the Wiz. I asked Taj. I said, "Do you think that they should retire number 1 and number 13?" And Bulls fans straight love Taj Gibson. I love Taj Gibson. And then at the very end,
Taj was
he's
awesome.
walking away from me, and I'm like trailing him outside the locker room. Like, would you like to come back and play here one more time? I would love that.
Yeah.
He almost started crying right then.
Yeah.
Okay, good work by you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
thought it was a good job.
So what did you do wrong?
Lawrence
I just thought
doesn't
it's
like
funny
that I
he's
had
like chasing him. Like Taj is clearly like, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm going to the bus.
Good reporting.
Bulldog.
Taj-
Bulldog Carm.
Bulldog Carm.
Taj
Bulldog
kept
Farm.
talking, and he never said stop. He's like, okay, I'm done. He just kept going, but he had to meet family, and we were all in it together.
Okay.
Taj is my guy.
I like Taj Gibson.
Good work.
Thank you.
What a waste of a team that whole deal was.
Wait, what?
Well, you had Derek, you had Joakim Noah, you had.
That was like the second best era in Bulls basketball history.
That's my point. What a waste.
It was disappointing.
They won how many playoff series? 1, 2?
They got to the Eastern Conference Finals once and lost 4-1, and they had leads in the fourth quarter in every single game, but couldn't beat LeBron and company.
What a waste.
This is the spirit of the show today. Mine as well. Just Roquan's gone, and now we're going to go back to Bulls Heat, and Derrick Rose tore his knee up against the Sixers when they were up 20.
That was, still the saddest sports thing I think I've ever been a part of.
It was
witness.
Yeah. I hate that just came up, but
It's
blame you.
still painful. Well, it still causes.
they did it
me
to themselves.
a lot of pain. All right. You had this thing that before we get out of here, you wanted to bring up about potentially a team in the NFC North wanting to trade up
So
to the Bears pick.
All right, let's get together on this chat, and everybody who's listening in the audio world. Let's just have a kumbaya moment. The Bears and the Lions. All right, Detroit has picks right now 4 and 15, which is a hell of a job by the Detroit Lions in the position that they're in, and hopefully the Bears can perhaps get there at some point. I don't know how they're going to get this wide receiver that they need. I wouldn't almost mind if they stacked picks this year, but that's not this topic. There you see the Rams, the Lions via the Rams at 4, and their other pick right now is 15. And so they're going to pick 15, 16, 17. Let's say Detroit decides that they need a quarterback and the Bears finish at number 2. Would the Bears and Lions get together? The Bears go down to 4, give up the 2, let Detroit have their quarterback, and get their, say, 15th overall pick. Could we see a scenario where in the division, the Bears move back 2 slots, still get a premium defensive lineman that they want, Detroit gets their quarterback, the Bears evaluate the quarterback perhaps differently than the Lions did think. The Lions think they got their stud. The Bears look at him like, either of those, whoever they're drafting there, will be okay, and we get the 4th pick. We probably still get the guy we want, and we have the 15th pick, and we add in perhaps a wide receiver or whoever they like at that point. Could we see a scenario where the Bears and Lions trade together? Because that would make it. I mean, I would do that trade right now. If 2 for 4 and 15, all in.
Okay, now, first of all, I already have the answer to this question on one side. The Lions would be willing to do it, not only because they can secure the quarterback, but because there's actual evidence they would do this. They made a trade a first-round trade with the Vikings last year in the draft.
Okay.
So they're on board. On the Bears side, I think it would be really stupid to rule anything out because, but this is why, and I've said this before, you have to have, even if it's not Poles himself or it's just his team, you still evaluate these quarterbacks this year. You still go to their pro day, go through the scouting process, decide how much you like CJ Stroud. Because the question you have to ask yourself is, wow, this is a great haul we can get from a division rival, which is great because then you set them back, right? Because now all of a sudden, especially if you can get even more. I mean, depending on how, what the demands are for CJ Stroud, and I'm kind of doing this under the assumption Bryce Young goes first, what that competition is for that pick, and the fact that you probably have to pay an extra tax on it because you are trading with a division rival, it could be a huge haul you get back. I'm on board. But if your evaluation of C.J. Stroud
is that he's Patrick Mahomes?
He might be Patrick Mahomes, which I'm not saying is the case and probably isn't the case. But if that's how you end up valuing him, I don't know. You want to put that in your division?
You don't, and you wouldn't. But on the case where you think he's going to be land somewhere between the 13th and 22nd best quarterback in the league, and you're getting another pick, you got to have confidence that you can beat that dude, right?
Yeah. It's an interesting scenario, and one that I think could pop up.
I just look at that as the ideal scenario. The Bears move back a couple picks. They still get the elite player that they want. They add another pick. That would be a home run for the Bears.
And they're probably getting more, too.
And maybe you add on a 5th round or whatever.
So maybe you get the Lions. I don't know what their second round situation is right now off the top of my head. But maybe make amends for that Claypool pick you gave up. I don't know. It's possible. I don't know. All right.
What grade do you give the Claypool trade right now?
Right now?
Yeah. What grade is that?
C for Chase.
D.
Lawrence has a C.
I mean, I was actually going to say D, but I thought I'd be nice and say C.
And it could very well change. Let's all be optimistic. However, right now, I think a D is a fair grade on that one.
Yeah, I mean, based off what we've seen now. But that's why it's at the top of my list of things we got to see in these final 4 games. Right?
Dude's got to step it up.
What?
If I hear one more thing, in the Pompey piece, it took Roquan, different position. I get it, route trees and all, but it took Roquan 3 days to figure out the Ravens defense because he's been through 17,000 Bears defenses. It took him 3 days. Yeah, well, Chase has got to get time. Okay, all right, we've had enough time. Let's go. You've been playing football your whole life. It can't be that difficult.
I'm with you. That was pretty incredible. Also, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Baker had 2 days. He played quarterback, which is
quarterback.
Yeah, we got to give Chase time to figure it out here. It's a lot to learn, this complex Bears offense. I mean, Fields has been saying that, so whatever.
Right. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I got one final thought as Cody walked in here, and he's been putting out incredible Cubs content.
About all the things they don't do.
I have a message for baseball fans everywhere right now that is not popular, and Cody's going to come on here and fight me. But stick to the plan, whatever the hell the plan is.
What is the plan? That's
the plan
question.
is this. When you're good enough, then you overpay for elite talent, and the Cubs know that they're not. So just go. If you're going to do it this way, go all in the other way. Trade Marcus Stroman, trade anyone of value, win 40 games again, and get all the picks, and let your guys come up here and win this World Series in 2026. They signed Carlos 13-year deal. Where are we going, baseball? Are we going to have 20-year deals? Is that what we're going to do? Are we going to sign guys for 20 years? 13 years. He's going to be 88 years old. Doesn't make any sense. I understand that it's annoying, and it'd be a lot better for. I'd rather win games than lose games if I'm living my best life in the very moment.
It's like Monopoly money.
Yeah, it's not our money.
Spend it.
It's not even Jed Hoyer's money. He's not going to be here in 13 years.
They're being cheap. Both teams are being cheap.
All right.
It sucks.
Okay. Maybe they should do it the other way. Offer a 48-year deal
we're not in
for
Pittsburgh.
Shohei Ohtani next year.
We're not in Cincinnati.
At $58 million a year.
We're not in Detroit. We're not in Cleveland. We're not in some Rust Belt garbage town. This is Chicago, okay? Spend money like you're in the 3rd largest market in the country.
Look, hey, this is not the Cubs show, and the Cubs show's coming up at 1:20.
Oh, yeah, we got to go do
Name
that. Name
one good player on the Cubs.
Sammy Sosa.
Nico Horner, baby.
Ian Happ. Again, they're not good.
Yeah, Happ's like the Darnell Mooney of the Cubs.
I fingers crossed I'm wrong, but
Do you have the same take on the White Sox?
no.
They should be spending money.
No. Right? The White Sox are close to winning the World Series if they made a couple of the right moves. And forget this year. The Sox should be more aggressive.
Yeah, they won't make the right moves.
But the Cubs talked about being aggressive, and then they haven't been, as it's turned out. So that's the pain of it all.
All right, let's get to a couple super chats before we get out of here. John says
I'm getting the one-finger salute from Luke Stuckmeyer right now, who's ready to do his show. This is going to be a great
We
Cubs
just
show
fired
today.
them up. See, this is the fired up. You do this for them.
Yeah, the
but
pre-show,
before our show, you hide in the closet and you don't talk to us. This is what I'm talking about.
All right, tomorrow. You're not here tomorrow. Bears After Dark. Carmi will be in studio. It's going to be a great show. Sunday, pregame. Me and you, camaraderie.
Why is your phone on your head?
I don't know.
So weird. John says it took OBJ 10 games to have a 100-yard game when he went to the Rams last year mid-season. Okay. Yeah, okay. And then they say goodbye. Like, I don't know. Not the same situation. Right. No, actually, irrelevant. Because the Bears didn't make the Claypool trade to win the Super Bowl and say goodbye. This is supposed to be their free agent answer this offseason. That's why they made the trade.
Also, Odell is a different player than Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool's had one good year in the NFL, and we're waiting to see if he can do it again. Odell, different level.
All right. Chong says, sorry, hard for me to read. Do you think with Cunningham at the owners' meeting that we can have him as our GM and Poles as our president? Cunningham is at the owners' meetings as part of a summit for minorities within the NFL to get more opportunity. It's part of the owners' meetings. That's why he's particularly there. I think. I don't know.
Listen,
Same thing.
along those lines, Adam Hoge's newsletter for diehards, get on in. You have some great stuff on there on Ian Cunningham today and his knowledge of the Eagles and how the Bears ideally would like to be the Eagles going forward. Some good stuff, as always, from our guy, Sir Hoge, leading us to victory. So become a diehard and check out the Hoge piece. It's very strong.
So thank you. Appreciate that. Someone did rightly call you out, though, and I did cross my mind when you were ranting about the Cubs that
What did they say?
You were kind of being hypocritical about the Roquan thing.
When was I hypocritical?
Because you're not in a position to win now. Don't overpay. That would be overpaying for Roquan when the Bears are not in a position to win now.
The Bears better be in a position to do something next year. You have
Just saying, someone in the comments did call you out for that, and
I expect the Bears to be competitive next year. It's the third year of Justin Fields. You've got him as rookie deal for 2 years. I expect the Bears. I agree.
I mean, at least in the playoff picture. In the hunt. Hey, check out the All City gift memberships. They are available now. Go to allchgo.com. Get them for somebody you love or maybe just like. It's a great gift.
I gotta go.
Okay.
Perfect. I'm getting 16 people that gift. So look forward to it. It's coming from Carm because I care.
Will and Nick will be here tomorrow for their Week 15 preview. Bears, Eagles. It'll be right here at noon on the CHGO Bears Podcast. Make sure you check in for that. Also, Bears After Dark tomorrow night. And we're back this weekend. I'm excited. Pregame.
We got
pregame, postgame. Corey Wooten in studio with us.
Wooten in studio all day. Apparently, everybody, as far as I can tell on Twitter, who's responding to that thing, everybody, apparently all Bears fans just think that Roquan Smith sucked.
Which is not true.
Which is just not true. This
Have
is a
good
fun
day,
show,
everyone.
as always. We love you.
See you tomorrow.